Hello, guys. I hope you all are good. So, have you ever imagined what would happen if the Devil King accidentally ate his own marriage contract because he thought it was a shiny heavenly candy? Well, that sounds ridiculous, right? Well, that's exactly what happens in today's story. What follows is an absolute chaos, a terrifyingly obsessed Angel King, a mischievous Devil King who keeps trying to escape, endless comedy, an adorable romance, and a love story so crazy that it changed the fate of heaven, hell, and the human realm forever. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's jump into today's story. Oh, and before diving, don't forget to check out my Patreon page for early access and bonus contents. Now, let's dive into our story. Happy listening, everyone.
Chapter 1. The Devil Who Ate His Own Marriage Contract. For 10,000 years, the Angel Kingdom and the Devil Kingdom had officially been at war. Officially. In reality. The soldiers from both sides had stopped taking the war seriously around 8,000 years ago. At exactly 9 every morning, the heavenly army would march to the border. At exactly 9:05, the demonic army would arrive. At exactly 9:10, the Devil King would do something incredibly stupid, and the Angel King would abandon the battlefield to chase him. The armies had adapted. Some angels brought tea, the demons brought snacks. The generals played chess. Someone always won the betting pool on how long it would take before Lucifer annoyed Seraphiel enough to be chased across the 9 heavens. Today's winning bet was 3 minutes. Pay up, Archangel Michael said smugly, holding out his hand. General Astaroth groaned and tossed him a pouch of gold. I said 5 minutes. You underestimated our king's ability to become a public nuisance. Across the battlefield, a loud cackle echoed through heaven. Ha 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 ha. There he goes. Lucifer, the Devil King, streaked through the clouds like a shooting star wrapped in black silk. His long silver hair danced wildly behind him, curved black horns peeked through messy bangs, and his crimson eyes sparkled with the excitement of a child about to commit harmless vandalism. A long black tail swayed happily behind him. He wasn't evil. He was a menace, an adorable menace. A menace everyone secretly adored, including, unfortunately, the Angel King himself. Seraphiel stood upon heaven's highest stairway like a divine sculpture carved from moonlight itself. 6 enormous white wings rested behind him. Golden hair shimmered beneath the sun. His expression remained perfectly calm, perfectly cold, perfectly unreadable, until a tiny golden crown vanished from his head. Lucifer appeared upside down in the sky wearing it. Oh? He tilted it proudly. It suits me better. Silence. An angel quietly whispered. 3, 2, 1. Seraphiel sighed. Lucifer! The Devil King grinned. Catch me. And ran. Every single angel groaned. There they go again. The chase began. Lucifer darted between floating temples, laughing so hard he nearly flew into a cloud. Seraphiel followed with graceful, terrifying speed. Unlike Lucifer's chaotic movements, Seraphiel moved like flowing water. Elegant. Precise. Completely relentless. Lucifer swooped toward the Hall of Eternal Hymns. Oh no. Michael pinched the bridge of his nose. Lucifer landed inside, grabbed the choir's sacred music sheets, crossed out every elegant lyric, and replaced them with Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The choir didn't notice. Seconds later, hundreds of angels began singing. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The music echoed throughout heaven. Absolute silence followed. Then Lucifer exploded into laughter. I'm crying. Michael buried his face in his hands. I'm requesting early retirement. Seraphiel slowly closed his eyes. Lucifer. The Devil King saluted dramatically. Present. Then bolted again. He flew straight toward heaven's oldest cathedral. A minute later, tiny curly mustaches had somehow appeared on every sacred statue. One angel stared in horror. Did Saint Raphael always have facial hair? No. He's improved it. Even Seraphiel's lips twitched. Only slightly, Lucifer noticed. You smiled. I did not. You did. I most certainly did not. You almost smiled. I'll frame this day forever. Lucifer laughed so hard he nearly fell out of the sky. Seraphiel took advantage of the distraction. He lunged. Lucifer shrieked. Nope. He twisted away at the last second. Only his tail remained trapped. Seraphiel had caught it. Lucifer gasped dramatically. My tail. It belongs to me for the next 5 seconds. It does not. It does. Lucifer tugged. Seraphiel refused to let go. The Devil King eventually spun around in circles trying to free himself. Watching them, a young angel timidly raised his hand. Should we help His Majesty? Michael didn't even look up from his tea. No. Why? Because His Majesty enjoys chasing his husband. They're married? No. Then why? We stopped asking around 6,000 years ago. Meanwhile, Lucifer finally slipped free. My freedom. He blew Seraphiel a kiss. See you tomorrow? Then disappeared into a nearby palace. Seraphiel straightened his robes. I'll deal with him later. He calmly returned to his royal duties. Unfortunately, that single decision changed the fate of every realm. Lucifer landed inside an abandoned ceremonial hall, laughing to himself. Worth it. His tail wagged happily. Then, the ceiling exploded. Several masked assassins dropped from above. Kill the Devil King. Lucifer blinked. Seriously? One dagger flew toward him. He ducked. A spear missed his head. A divine artifact shattered. Golden relics scattered across the marble floor. Lucifer sprinted through the chaos. Rude! Another explosion sent dozens of sacred treasures flying into the air. One glowing golden scroll spun gracefully before his face. It shimmered, sparkled, glowed. Lucifer's eyes widened. Ooh. Shiny, very shiny. His greatest weakness. It even smells enchanted. Another assassin lunged. Thinking quickly, or rather, not thinking at all. Lucifer grabbed the glowing scroll. Candy. Crunch. The hall fell silent. He chewed, swallowed. Huh. Malphus, Lucifer's chief advisor, entered just in time to witness the final gulp. His soul left his body. Your Majesty! Lucifer blinked innocently. What? Malphus pointed a trembling finger. What? Did you just eat? Lucifer scratched his cheek. Magic fruit leather? Malphus looked ready to faint. Lucifer smiled sheepishly. It was glowing. He coughed. A corner of golden parchment remained stuck between his teeth. He pulled it free. It looked like a celestial fruit roll-up. Who leaves the universe's most important diplomatic artifact lying next to the snack tray during an assassination ambush? Malphus clutched his chest. Your Majesty. His voice cracked. That was the Eternity Pact of the Two Thrones? Lucifer blinked. The what? The marriage contract. Don't tell me you forgot about it. But seeing the look at Lucifer's face clearly told Malphus that his king indeed forgot that there is an even marriage contract existed. The one drafted by the primeval gods. It predates spice. Lucifer stared. His tail stopped moving. Oh, that's not ideal. Malphus screamed into a nearby curtain. I am going to die from stress. Lucifer immediately began casting dark healing magic on his stomach. Come on. Nothing happened. I'll just vomit it back up. Malphus slapped his hand away. No. I'm improvising. You are making it worse. I can poop it out. I am resigning. Before Lucifer could attempt another spectacularly terrible solution, the air changed. Every candle extinguished. The stained glass windows dissolved into white mist. Even hell itself seemed to hold its breath. Seraphiel appeared. He did not walk in. He simply materialized. An apocalypse carved from marble and moonlight. His 6 enormous wings unfurled behind him. Golden eyes locked onto one person. Lucifer. The Devil King smiled nervously. Hey Siri, your radiance. No response. Lucifer coughed awkwardly. Before you say anything, he rubbed the back of his neck. Fiber is really important for a growing Devil King. Silence. And honestly? He shrugged. A bit crunchy. Another pause. 3 out of 10. Seraphiel crossed the distance in a single step. His gloved hand gently, but firmly, wrapped around Lucifer's throat, keeping him in place, and he didn't squeeze. He simply held him there. Golden eyes burned with something far more frightening than anger. Possession. You, Seraphiel murmured, ate it. Lucifer smiled weakly. It was a misunderstanding. I can still poop it out. Please stop looking at me like that. Seraphiel slowly lifted one hand and placed it against Lucifer's chest. Golden light bloomed beneath his palm. The magic answered. It pulsed, once, twice, then spread through Lucifer's soul like glowing roots. Seraphiel's expression changed. Something dark, Something obsessive, something almost delighted flickered behind his golden eyes. You cannot. His voice dropped to a whisper. It has already begun bonding with your soul. Lucifer's grin disappeared. What? And until I extract every last rune from your body, Seraphiel leaned close enough for their foreheads to almost touch. You aren't leaving my sight. Lucifer gulped. Hypothetically, how long would that take? Seraphiel looked directly into his crimson eyes, then quietly answered, forever. The golden magic inside Lucifer's chest pulsed once more, as if agreeing. And for the first time in 10,000 years, the Angel King smiled. It was soft, beautiful, hopelessly devoted, and just a little terrifying. Lucifer stared at him. I have made a terrible mistake. Chapter 2. Congratulations. You're under arrest for being my husband. Flashback. The heavenly palace was unusually peaceful, which, in Seraphiel's experience, never meant anything good. The Angel King sat behind a mountain of divine documents, elegantly signing treaties with a golden quill while several archangels stood nearby awaiting instructions. Approve the Eastern Harvest. Yes, Your Radiance. The Orphanage Reconstruction Fund. Approved. The request to increase border patrols. Approved. Michael glanced up from another scroll. Your Majesty. You seem unusually calm today. Seraphiel's golden eyes remained on the parchment. My little sinner has already finished today's mischief. Every archangel silently exchanged looks. Raphael finally muttered. So, he expects another round after lunch. Michael nodded solemnly. Probably. Just then, boom, the palace doors burst open. A breathless angel stumbled inside, panting so hard he could barely speak. Your Majesty. Seraphiel calmly looked up. What happened? The Devil King. Yes? He ate it. Silence. Seraphiel blinked once. Come again? The marriage contract. He swallowed it. He thought it was candy. Michael quietly covered his face. Raphael whispered, Oh, we're doomed. For several long seconds, nothing happened. Seraphiel simply sat there, perfectly still. The room became so silent even the ticking celestial clock seemed afraid to move. Then, crack! The golden quill in Seraphiel's hand shattered into glittering dust. Every angel collectively took one cautious step backward. Michael sighed. There it is. Without another word, Seraphiel disappeared, back to present. By the time he returned, he wasn't alone. One arm was firmly wrapped around Lucifer's waist. The Devil King was currently protesting with remarkable enthusiasm. I said I can walk. No, I have legs. I know. Then put me down. No. Lucifer kicked dramatically in midair. This is kidnapping. Seraphiel answered without even looking at him. Correction. He pulled Lucifer a little closer. This is escorting my husband. I am not your husband. You swallowed our marriage. Now you are my husband. That was an accident. It was. I thought it was a snack. I know. Lucifer frowned. Stop agreeing with me. Minutes later, the Grand Heavenly Council assembled in complete silence. Every elder stared at the Devil King. Lucifer waved cheerfully. Hello. No one waved back. One elder rose from his seat. The Eternity Pact must be retrieved immediately. Another nodded gravely. The Devil King must be executed. The contract belongs to heaven. It cannot remain inside a demon. Murmurs spread throughout the hall. Lucifer slowly leaned towards Seraphiel. They're talking about me, aren't they? They are. Rude. Another elder slammed his staff against the floor. For the safety of every realm, he pointed directly at Lucifer. Kill him. Silence. Every pair of eyes turned toward the Angel King. After all, everyone present knew one simple fact. Seraphiel loved Lucifer. Hopelessly. Ridiculously, pathetically, madly. He was a pure lunatic in love. Even heaven's newest angels knew. It was impossible not to. This was the same Angel King who had once postponed an international summit because Lucifer had fallen asleep using his lap as a pillow. The same Angel King who secretly commissioned artisans from every realm to create shiny trinkets simply because Lucifer smiled whenever he saw something glittering. The same Angel King who remembered exactly how Lucifer liked his tea, how many pillows he preferred, how warm his blankets needed to be, which flowers made him sneeze. which desserts made him grin. And exactly how many forehead kisses were required before his little menace stopped pouting. The council wasn't asking a king to execute his enemy. They were asking a man to kill the love of his life. Seraphiel finally spoke. No. The single word echoed across the chamber. The eldest elder frowned. Your radiance, I said. Golden light exploded through the hall. No. His wings unfurled with enough force to shake the palace itself. No one dared speak. Seraphiel slowly stood. Lucifer looked between the elders and the angel. Should I be worried? No. Comforting. Seraphiel placed one protective hand on the small of Lucifer's back. So long as I breathe. His voice remained calm. No one touches him. One elder gasped. But the contract is inside him. Exactly. Seraphiel looked at Lucifer for a long moment. Golden eyes softened immediately, almost embarrassingly so. If the contract resides inside his body, his fingers gently brushed Lucifer's hair away from his face, then I shall simply keep him by my side. Lucifer blinked. Excuse me. The council froze. Michael pinched the bridge of his nose. There he goes. Seraphiel ignored everyone. He was only looking at Lucifer now. You belong with me until the contract is safely removed. Lucifer crossed his arms. I refuse. I wasn't asking. I object. Noted. I'll escape. I know. I'll bite. You usually do that. You're impossible. So I've been told. Before Lucifer could launch another complaint, Seraphiel simply lifted him into his arms. Again. Princess style. Lucifer squeaked. Hey, you've walked enough today. I have not. You've survived an assassination attempt. I won. You swallowed an ancient divine contract. Minor detail. You've also argued with the Heavenly Council. They started it. You require rest. I require freedom. You require lunch. Lucifer hesitated. What kind of lunch? Michael sighed. He's distracted already. Seraphiel smiled faintly. Your favorite. Lucifer's eyes sparkled despite himself. Really? And dessert? Already prepared. Fine. He folded his arms with exaggerated dignity. I accept my imprisonment until dessert. Several elders stared in disbelief. That's all it took? Raphael whispered. Food has always been one of his weaknesses. So are shiny objects, Michael added. And unfortunately, he glanced toward Seraphiel. Our king knows every single one of them. Lucifer huffed dramatically but made no further attempt to escape. Instead, after several minutes of complaining, wriggling, and dramatically declaring that heaven's hospitality was criminally affectionate, he yawned. Another yawn escaped him. Seraphiel looked down immediately. Tired? No. You yawned. I yawn angrily. Of course you do. Lucifer tried to argue. Instead, his head slowly flopped against Seraphiel's shoulder. I'm absolutely not sleepy. My eyes are merely... Another yawn. Thinking. They certainly are. Within moments, the Devil King's protests became quiet little mumbles, then silence. His tail lazily curled around one of Seraphiel's legs on instinct, as naturally as breathing. Seraphiel's entire expression melted. The terrifying Angel King, the ruler feared by all three realms, looked down at the sleeping devil in his arms as though he were holding the most precious treasure in existence. His thumb gently stroked Lucifer's hair. So troublesome. He whispered with endless fondness, my precious little sinner. Then, after making sure Lucifer was sleeping comfortably, Seraphiel adjusted his hold ever so slightly so the younger wouldn't wake. He glanced once toward the horrified Heavenly Council. My decision is final. His golden eyes darkened with quiet obsession. The contract will remain where it is. A pause, and so will he. His gaze returned to the sleeping Devil King nestled securely against him. So long as that contract lives inside his soul, his lips curved into the faintest smile. He belongs beside me. No one noticed the final words except Michael, who happened to be standing closest. They were spoken so softly they were almost a secret. And that means, Seraphiel murmured to himself, tightening his hold ever so slightly around his sleeping husband, forever. With that, the Angel King turned and walked out of the council chamber. carrying his peacefully sleeping little menace toward heaven's most secure palace. His palace. The elders watched in stunned silence. Michael took a long sip of his tea. Congratulations, Raphael blinked. For what? Michael smiled wearily. The Devil King has just been arrested. He watched Seraphiel disappear down the marble corridor, cradling Lucifer as though he were made of glass. For being the Angel King's husband. Chapter 3. 1001 Escape Plans. 3 weeks later, Lucifer had reached one very important conclusion. Heaven's security measures were profoundly obnoxious. The Starlight Suite sounded romantic. In reality, it was an extremely luxurious prison floating atop a cloud. The bed was softer than anything in hell. The food was delicious. The blankets were warm. The view was breathtaking. And there wasn't a single possible exit. No windows that actually opened. No shadows deep enough for teleportation. No weak points in the walls. Even the guards never blinked. Lucifer narrowed his eyes at the ceiling. Rude. On the first page of a tiny black notebook were 4 elegant words. Escape plans below it. Plan number 1, tunnel. Clink, scrape, tap, clink. Lucifer wiped sweat from his forehead while lying beneath the enormous 4-poster bed. Using a stolen silver soup spoon, he attacked heaven itself. Just clink. 2, scrape, more, tap, inches. He gritted his fangs. Tunnel through the holy drywall. Another scrape. Into the cloud ducts. Another scrape. And I'm back to sulfur, tap, and bad decisions. Suddenly, the floor disappeared. Rather, the entire bed quietly slid aside by itself. Lucifer slowly looked up. Seraphiel stood above him barefoot, dressed in a loose white silk robe while carrying a tray of golden tea and freshly baked pastries. He looked down. Lucifer looked up. Lucifer was covered in sawdust, still holding the bent spoon like a legendary weapon. Silence. 1 second, 2 seconds. 3. Seraphiel smiled. Finished with your excavation project? Lucifer immediately threw the spoon behind his back. He coughed. Redecorating. Oh? Open concept flooring is all the rage in pandemonium. I see. Seraphiel sighed. It wasn't an annoyed sigh. It was the sigh of someone who had long accepted that the love of his life was professionally committed to making his blood pressure rise. He crouched beside Lucifer and effortlessly hauled him up by his collar, dusting wood shavings off the Devil King's leather jacket. You missed a spot. Where? Behind your left horn. Before Lucifer could react, Seraphiel brushed the tiny wood shaving away with his thumb. His fingers lingered just long enough to make Lucifer's ears twitch. And, Seraphiel continued calmly, your tunnel leads directly into Michael's private bathhouse. Lucifer blinked. Really? At this exact moment, Seraphiel glanced upward thoughtfully. He is practicing hymns. As if on cue, a distant voice echoed. Amazing Archangel Michael screamed, Why is there a spoon coming through my floor? Lucifer winced. Oops, Seraphiel looked back at him. So, his golden eyes softened. Would you prefer divine smiting? Or would you rather come back to bed? I'd prefer to go back to hell. Not an option. Lucifer puffed his cheeks. You are so dramatic. So I've been told. Before Lucifer could escape again, Seraphiel slowly backed him against the wall until the Devil King found himself safely trapped between 2 enormous wings. The Angel King's hand rested beside Lucifer's head. His voice became quiet. The contract is reacting. Lucifer frowned. Reacting? Seraphiel gently placed a palm over Lucifer's heart. Golden light shimmered beneath his fingers. To your pulse. The magic glowed. Warm, gentle, possessive. Lucifer swallowed. That's mildly concerning. I find it reassuring. Of course you do. You are my little sinner. And you're completely unhinged. Only for you. Lucifer rolled his eyes. Hopeless. Seraphiel lifted him effortlessly. Again, princess style. I can walk. You've worked hard. I dug for 15 minutes. You exhausted yourself? I absolutely did not. You yawned in between digging. I yawn aggressively. You certainly do. Seraphiel smiled fondly. With one glowing hand, he gently stroked Lucifer's hair. Soft golden light drifted from his fingertips. Lucifer's eyelids became heavier. No, another yawn escaped. He blinked, escaping. His sentence dissolved into sleepy mumbling. Within moments, his head rested comfortably on Seraphiel's shoulder. Fast asleep. The Angel King quietly chuckled. My troublesome little devil. He held Lucifer for several extra minutes even after reaching the bed, just watching him sleep peacefully, as though the rest of existence had stopped. 2 weeks later, Lucifer opened his notebook. Plan number 237, steal shiny object, escape later. During those 2 weeks, Seraphiel had created a tiny floating golden orb. It glowed beautifully. It sparkled. It shimmered. Lucifer loved it. He would never admit that aloud. Seraphiel never asked. He simply smiled every time Lucifer secretly carried it around. What Lucifer didn't know, the tiny golden orb happily reported his location directly back to its creator. Elsewhere. Seraphiel looked down at the floating orb hovering above his palm. Inside it, Lucifer could be seen tiptoeing dramatically through heaven. Seraphiel sighed for what had to be the 1,000th time. My little menace. Plan number 238, become a nun. Lucifer stood beside heaven's checkpoint wearing an oversized white habit, a crooked halo made from twisted wire, ridiculously oversized sunglasses. His black tail dragged several feet behind him. He leaned toward the guard conspiratorially. Listen carefully. The six-winged seraph didn't move. I'm listening. I'll give you VIP tickets to the 7th Circle's annual lava rafting tournament. Unlimited food. And free parking. The guard remained perfectly expressionless. Your disguise is atrocious, Your Majesty. Lucifer gasped. Excuse you? Your tail is dragging behind the robe. It's... Lucifer lifted it proudly. A theological tail. No. A holy tail. No. A limited edition tail. Still no. A familiar voice drifted beside his ear. Leaving so soon. Warm fingers settled around Lucifer's waist. My sweet little sinner? Lucifer froze. No. Seraphiel rested his chin comfortably on Lucifer's shoulder. The guard immediately saluted. Your radiance. The Devil King attempted to bribe me. Did he? With lava rafting? I see. Seraphiel slowly tightened his arm around Lucifer. The Devil King squeaked. A little tighter and I'll become decorative. You keep trying to leave. Because I'm imprisoned. Temporarily. It's been weeks. Lucifer crossed his arms. You've officially become terrifying. I've always been terrifying. Fair. Seraphiel lowered his head until his lips almost brushed Lucifer's ear. What did I tell you? His voice became impossibly gentle. About sneaking away? Lucifer avoided eye contact. Not to? Technically, I wasn't sneaking. Oh? I was... Lucifer proudly straightened. Relocating. My little liar. Then the contract pulsed again. Golden electricity exploded through both of their chests. Gah! Lucifer's knees immediately gave out. Seraphiel caught him before he touched the ground. Lucifer instinctively clutched the angel's silk shirt. Warmth flooded through them both. It wasn't painful, it was comforting, dangerously comforting. Seraphiel buried his face briefly against Lucifer's neck. The bond, he whispered, is getting stronger. Lucifer's face burned. You're... He struggled to breathe normally. Completely unhinged. Seraphiel smiled. Only for you. Then he gently kissed the tip of Lucifer's horn. Now. He looked directly into crimson eyes. Walk back inside. A pause. Before I carry you bridal style in front of the entire heavenly council. Lucifer immediately started walking. I'm walking. You are. Very quickly. I noticed. The escape attempts continued. Plan number 301. Teleport. Holy barrier. Failure. Plan number 577. Bribe guards with demon snacks. The guards accepted the snacks, then escorted Lucifer directly back to Seraphiel. Failure. Plan number 884. Hide inside a giant gift box. Hours later, Seraphiel calmly opened the lid. Inside, Lucifer smiled awkwardly. Hello, Seraphiel blinked. Continue. You weren't supposed to find me. I know, Lucifer sighed dramatically. You ruin everything. I know. Then as always, Seraphiel extended one hand. Finished? Lucifer stared. Come back to our room. Lucifer groaned loud enough for heaven to hear. Eventually, the palace servant started a betting pool. How long would the Devil King stay escaped? Current record 9 minutes. Michael proudly held first place. Malthus buried his face in both hands. Permanent headaches had become a normal part of his life. I serve chaos, he whispered miserably. No, Michael corrected, you serve Lucifer. Exactly. As the weeks passed, the Angel King became even more possessive. Every lock in heaven was replaced, every escape route sealed, teleportation circles destroyed, cloud bridges removed. Anyone who looked at Lucifer for more than 3 seconds received a silent stare from Seraphiel, terrifying enough to make archangels apologize. Soon, every realm understood one universal truth. The Angel King feared nothing, except the possibility that his little sinner might disappear. Lucifer, meanwhile, remained convinced his husband had completely lost his mind. He's insane, he whispered while secretly polishing the shiny golden orb Seraphiel had gifted him. The orb blinked innocently. Far away. Seraphiel smiled without looking up from his paperwork. My little menace, he murmured affectionately. I know exactly where you are. Lucifer sneezed. Why do I suddenly feel watched? Chapter 4. The Husband Manual. That comes with forever happiness and chaos. If someone asked Seraphiel what the secret to a successful marriage was, his answer was always the same. Know everything about your husband? And he meant everything. Lucifer's favorite dessert? Honey-glazed mooncakes with golden sugar flakes? Favorite pillow? The ridiculously fluffy one he always claimed he hated before stealing it every night. Favorite tea? Golden saffron tea with exactly 2 cubes of celestial honey. Favorite flowers? Golden sun lilies. Favorite weather? Warm afternoons after gentle rain. Favorite constellation? The golden serpent. Favorite shiny rocks? All of them. Lucifer, meanwhile, never noticed. Instead, he walked into their bedroom carrying an armful of blankets. Why do you own 17 blankets? Seraphiel looked up from his book. You steal 16. Lucifer paused. Fair. Then continued stealing the 17th. Seraphiel simply smiled. Life slowly settled into something wonderfully ordinary. Ordinary, for them. Lucifer still escaped at least 3 times every week. Seraphiel still caught him every single time. Lucifer still declared his husband dramatic. Seraphiel still called him, my little sinner, my little menace, my troublesome little devil. Everyone across heaven, hell, and the human realm had accepted one undeniable truth. The Angel King ruled 3 realms. The Devil King ruled the Angel King. One afternoon, Lucifer accidentally discovered a locked room. What's this? Nothing. You're lying. I'm protecting myself. From what? You. Lucifer immediately opened the door. His crimson eyes became brighter than stars. The room was filled from floor to ceiling. Golden music boxes, golden feathers, golden marbles, golden gemstones, golden crowns, golden stars trapped inside crystal bottles, golden snow globes, golden wind chimes, golden dragon figurines. Anything that sparkled was there. Lucifer whispered reverently, It's beautiful. Seraphiel sighed. I knew this would happen. Lucifer slowly walked inside, then sat in the middle of the room, immediately, like an oversized spoiled dragon discovering treasure. He picked up one glowing ornament, then another, then another. His tail happily thumped the floor. I love this one, and this one, and this one. Can I keep them? Seraphiel blinked. They're all yours. Lucifer looked up. Really? I commissioned every artisan from heaven, hell, and the human realm. Why? Seraphiel answered so naturally it almost sounded strange. You smile whenever you see something shiny. Lucifer stared. So, I wanted you to smile more. Silence. Lucifer looked around the room again. Thousands of treasures, thousands, collected over centuries, only because of him. You're insane. I know. But... Lucifer smiled softly. Thank you. Seraphiel's heart nearly stopped. An angel knocked carefully. Your Majesty? Shouldn't we continue today's war meeting? Without looking away from Lucifer, Seraphiel answered immediately. No. Why? My husband is happy. Meeting adjourned. The angel quietly closed the door. Outside? Michael nodded knowingly. Called it. Seraphiel never tried to stop Lucifer's mischief. He simply adjusted around it. If Lucifer climbed palace roofs, Seraphiel installed softer landing clouds. If Lucifer stole pastries, Seraphiel ordered extra. If Lucifer painted mustaches on statues, Seraphiel quietly had restoration teams waiting. Because seeing Lucifer laugh was worth every headache. Malthus disagreed. I've had permanent migraines for 3,000 years. Michael patted his shoulder sympathetically. Occupational hazard. Despite what everyone believed, Lucifer wasn't actually oblivious anymore. He knew. He knew exactly how obsessively Seraphiel loved him. He had known long before the marriage contract, long before heaven, long before any of this. That ridiculous angel remembered everything. Every birthday, every favorite food, every nightmare, every scar, every smile, every tiny habit. And somehow, that overwhelming devotion never frightened Lucifer. It made him feel home. Lucifer, however, had a very different love language. One afternoon, Seraphiel was quietly signing diplomatic documents. Scratch, scratch, scratch. A tiny shadow appeared behind him. Michael noticed immediately. Don't react. Raphael whispered. It's happening. Lucifer quietly leaned down, kissed Seraphiel's cheek, then ran. Ha 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 ha. Silence. Seraphiel froze. His quill stopped moving. His ears turned pink, then bright red. The entire office watched their terrifying king malfunction. Seraphiel calmly cleared his throat, adjusted another document, continued signing. As though absolutely nothing had happened, Michael whispered, should we pretend we didn't see that? Raphael nodded. For everyone's dignity. From somewhere down the hallway, Lucifer's laughter echoed. Another favorite pastime. Lucifer would quietly wrap his long tail around Seraphiel's legs, then lazily sprawl across him while he worked, like a spoiled cat. Without missing a beat, Seraphiel automatically scratched behind one horn. Lucifer practically purred. You are impossible. You love it. I do. Eventually, Lucifer returned to ruling hell, except he was never alone. Every meeting, every inspection, every diplomatic visit, Seraphiel followed. Like glue. Demons stopped questioning it. One finally sighed. Is the Angel King attending today's infernal budget meeting too? Lucifer looked beside him. Seraphiel smiled politely. Yes, of course he is. One evening, Lucifer was lying upside down across the sofa. I have an idea. Seraphiel looked up immediately. Should I be worried? Probably. Go on. Lucifer sat up. What if we had children? Silence. Seraphiel blinked. Children. I'm already raising one. Lucifer gasped dramatically. Excuse me? You dug through heaven with a spoon. That happened once. It happened yesterday. Technicalities. Seraphiel sighed. My little sinner. He reached over and tucked a loose strand of silver hair behind Lucifer's ear. You are already enough chaos for one lifetime. But imagine, Lucifer's eyes sparkled. Tiny chaos. With little horns, or tiny wings. Seraphiel closed his eyes. I can't say no to you. You never can. I know. Months later, ancient records hidden beneath heaven's oldest library revealed a forgotten truth. The marriage contract had never existed to create peace. It existed to awaken the first celestial child, a child born from an angel and a devil, an heir capable of ruling heaven, hell, and the human realm. Immediately, everything changed. Heaven wanted the heir. Hell wanted Lucifer returned. The fallen angels wanted the prophecy erased before it could begin. One night, Seraphiel wrapped both wings completely around Lucifer, shielding him from the world. He buried his face against his husband's neck. Mine. His voice trembled with quiet obsession. Let heaven come. Let hell come. Let every fallen angel come. If they want our family, golden light exploded around them. They'll have to step over my corpse first. Lucifer smiled softly. Overprotective. I know. But you... Seraphiel kissed his forehead. Stay right here. His hand rested gently over Lucifer's stomach. bound to me by my love for you. Not long afterward, the impossible happened. Lucifer was pregnant. The palace exploded into celebration. Seraphiel nearly cried. Michael absolutely cried. Malthus fainted from stress. Lucifer simply blinked. Huh? Then suddenly remembered something. Oh. Seraphiel looked up. What is it? I heard celestial children have magical auras. They do. They sparkle? Yes, Lucifer gasped. They're shiny? Seraphiel stared at his husband for several seconds. He genuinely couldn't decide whether to laugh or cry. Finally, he did both. My little menace, he laughed helplessly. Only you would become excited because our child glows. They're going to be adorable. They are. They'll sparkle. They absolutely will. Several months later, two tiny cries echoed throughout heaven. Twin boys, healthy, beautiful, perfect. Seraphiel carefully lifted the first baby, then the second. His golden eyes softened instantly. Our sons, Lucifer immediately inspected them. Where are their tails? He looked horrified. They don't have tails. He pouted dramatically. I wanted tiny demon tails. Seraphiel chuckled. They inherited more from me. Lucifer looked down again, then suddenly froze. Tiny, golden, feathery wings, soft, warm, sparkling beneath heavenly light. Lucifer's eyes widened. They're shiny. The babies happily flapped their tiny wings. Golden feathers floated everywhere. Lucifer immediately forgot about the missing tails. I love them, Seraphiel laughed. I noticed. They named the elder twin Aurelius, meaning the golden dawn. The younger twin was named Calum, meaning the endless sky. Aurelius yawned. Calum sneezed. Lucifer instantly melted. My babies. Seraphiel looked at the twins, then at Lucifer, then smiled. He had secretly hoped, just a little, that they would inherit Lucifer's playful nature, his smile, his mischievous heart. Instead, the twins had inherited almost everything from him. Golden eyes, golden wings, his calm temperament. But every now and then, when Aurelius quietly stole a shiny spoon, or Calum escaped his crib just because he was curious, Seraphiel would glance toward Lucifer, who always looked away innocently. I have no idea where they learned that. Naturally, years later, the war between heaven and hell officially ended. Not because treaties were signed, not because kingdoms surrendered, but because no one could bring themselves to fight the family that laughed louder than they argued, loved harder than they ruled, and turned ancient prophecies into bedtime stories. On warm afternoons, the four of them could often be found lying together beneath the golden skies. Lucifer, surrounded by shiny treasures, Aurelius asleep on Seraphiel's chest, Calum tangled happily in Lucifer's lap, and Seraphiel, watching his three greatest treasures with the same expression he had worn since the very beginning. One of endless devotion, one of quiet gratitude, one of forever. My little sinner, he whispered, kissing Lucifer's forehead as their sons giggled between them. I told you once you weren't leaving my sight. Lucifer smiled, stealing one quick kiss before running a few steps away with both boys chasing after him. You were right. Seraphiel laughed and followed the three loves of his life without a second thought. Some loves were written in ancient contracts. Theirs was written in every laugh, every chase, every shiny little treasure, and every ordinary day they spent together. And that was their happily ever after.